Okay, hello everybody. I'm so excited that it worked today. We are connected, we are live. I'm really excited to have everybody with me today for Health Coach Tip Tuesday. And I'm sure that many of you have wondered what it's like to work with an FDN practitioner. So there's a lot of people out there who want to become an FDN practitioner, but a lot of people want to work on their own health and are wondering, what is it like to work with an FDN practitioner? So I'm glad you were watching today so that you can find out exactly what it's like to work with one of us. Welcome to the Health Coach Tip Tuesday show, where every week we share tips, tools, and resources for health coaches and professionals so that you can confidently solve your clients' health issues and grow your career as a health coach or professional. I have a really awesome deliverable for you today. And what we want to do is get you paired up with the perfect FDN practitioner for you. If you are wanting to work on your own health, we want to find you the perfect match. So what we are going to do is send you a link to fill out a survey so that we can do that. And you are going to use the word me. Drop the word me below this video, M-E, all caps, and we are going to send you that link. So my name is Piper Gibson. I am your host and FDN Director of Course Enrollment. And joining me today is the fabulous Jennifer Woodward. She is the Director of the Association of Functional Diagnostic Nutrition Practitioners, and she's going to fill us in on all the exciting details about working with an FDN. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, Piper. I'm great. How are you today?
I am really well. I'm awesome. I'm gearing up for maybe a super nice, relaxing holiday weekend.
Oh, that's not because you don't have to go anywhere or do anything.
Right. I have to stay home.
Yeah, I just found out my in-laws have COVID, so that threw a monkey wrench in our plans. They're fine, apparently, but I just thought, okay, well, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah, so we're going to stay home, and my husband's going to smoke a turkey, and we're just going to hang out, just us. It'll be like the first time ever. So
that does sound dreamy.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Anyway, I'm sure everybody does not want to hear us chat about our exciting holiday weekend plans. They want to know what it's like to work with an FDN practitioner. So what I want to start out with, Jennifer, is let's talk a little bit about how people are struggling with their health, the cycle of trial and error and metabolic chaos.
Absolutely. And this is why most of us came to FDN to become a practitioner, and it's what we see in most of our clients. So this is one of Reed's favorite phrases, caught in the cycle of trial and error. And what that means is most people who come to FDN, either on the practitioner side or the client side, they've done everything. They've been everywhere. They've seen a handful of doctors. They've seen a handful of naturopaths. They've seen a handful of other gurus. They've been all over Google. They've been to the library. They've done their research, right? They've tried this supplement, they've tried this program, they've tried this, whatever it is, they've tried it all. I hear that all the time. Like, I've already done that. I've tried that. And that is what we call the caught in the cycle of trial and error. If, things were fixed, obviously you wouldn't have to keep trying all of these things that aren't working. And we know, Piper, like as practitioners and as women, you're never going to be perfect. You're not fixed ever, but you can get much further along on your health journey than you ever were. And that's that term metabolic chaos, right? Before you work with an FDN, that cycle of trial and error kind of traps you in what we call metabolic chaos, where all these symptoms, are happening. You've got migraines, you've got endometriosis, you've got, gut issues, you've got, more gut issues, right?
Maybe you've got,
yes, there's so much going on in the body. And what, we found at FDN, and Reed's been great at spearheading this, it's what he did for so long. All of those symptoms are really part of a central problem in the body, which is metabolic chaos. So as you start to build the vital reserve back into the body, all of those symptoms start coming into balance, which is really cool. And that's why being caught in the cycle of trial and error is so frustrating, because you're just going after a symptom. You're like, well, I'm going to take, vitamin B2 for my migraines, and then that doesn't work. And you're like, oh crap. And now, my periods are worse for whatever reason. So that's kind of what brings people to FDN just to begin with, is they're sick of that, right?
They are. And that it really helps to be able to kind of create that individual approach, because when we're stuck in that trial and error, we're trying everything that everybody on the internet is suggesting.
Right.
And just end up overwhelmed. And then, we're going to talk a little bit about how we can make that more of an individualized process.
Totally. Yeah, I got in trouble many years in a row for having like hidden pockets of very expensive supplements all over the house that really did nothing. You might be in the same boat.
Yeah, I know our supplements are a little excessive, but yes, I have tons that I'm like, we don't use these because they're not the right thing.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So when somebody decides, you know what, I'm tired of the cycle of trial and error, I feel like poo, I am going to find an FDN. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to work on onboarding them. What is that like? What does the onboarding process consist of?
Sure. So the first thing with onboarding is we welcome you because we know what you're going through. We've been through it ourselves. So there are so many of us who come to FDN for different reasons, but we've all been, stuck in just that health cycle. We've been hurting and tired and anxious and insomniac and, all of the things that you are struggling with. So we understand. So you'll come to a place of warmth and community and understanding for sure. But then we also go quite deep. So onboarding is going to look like, you filling out your fun intake paperwork. It's not overwhelming, I promise, but we want to know everything about you. We want to know, what your health was like when you were 3 years old. We want to know, what surgeries you've had and, what things you're sensitive to and just, it's a lot of information that we take from you because we want to know it all. We want to get to the root cause. So that's, on your end. And then on our end, we'll help facilitate you through ordering 5 foundational labs that we work on. So we're looking at your gut health. We're looking at your hormone health. We're looking actually at more gut health. We're looking at food sensitivities, and we're looking at what kind of diet works best for your own body. And all of those are, are shown to you in quantifiable measures where we're diving deep into not just traditional lab work, but functional lab work where we're really trying to get to the root cause of the issues that are bothering you. So you can expect, that intake paperwork, a warm, reciprocal relationship with an FDN who understands, and then the beginnings of getting that lab work done because you want, data and we want results. And so we're going to, get as much data from your body as possible so that we can start putting together, results and recommendation session and a bio-individual protocol that's tailored just to you.
So I want to just hit on something really quickly. If you are watching, you're just joining, make sure to drop the word me below, and we are going to send you that link to pair you with the perfect FDN practitioner for you so that you can get your health back on track. And I have Jennifer Woodward with me today, and we are discussing what it's like to work with an FDN practitioner. I want to just touch on what is the difference between what you might get done at your doctor and what is functional lab testing.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So your doctor's trained in traditional lab work, usually serum. He's going to test for like a comprehensive metabolic panel. He's going to test your cholesterol, maybe some cursory thyroid markers, hopefully vitamin D, maybe some vitamin B, but really all those things you get to like for your annual blood work. If you've got issues, he might go a little bit deeper looking for, thyroid insufficiencies, or, some like an ANA antibody is looking for maybe markers of autoimmune disease if he's trained in that, or she, doctor. But really, those are looking for specific conditions that one can treat. At FDN, we don't treat anything specifically. We look at the body and rebalance everything non-specifically. So again, we don't diagnose, treat, or prescribe. We are not medical professionals. So the lab tests that we do, we basically facilitate running through a medical director program with medical director oversight by MDs. And we are trained to look for the root issues that pop up on those labs for us. So, we're looking at, the functional lab testing is looking at things like stool and urine and saliva, a little bit out of your blood if we're looking for like a food sensitivity or intolerance test. But we're looking for reasons that the body is out of balance as opposed to specific conditions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Perfect.
Okay, good.
So once somebody gets their lab results back, or you have some lab results in your hand, what is the next step? For most of us, it's that results and recommendation session. What does that look like for your clients?
Yeah, so for my own clients, a results and recommendation session comes after I've got anywhere from 1 to 5 lab results back. So it can take quite some time. And if you're not feeling well, you might not be able to, intake all that information. So at FDN, we can break that up for you so that you're really able to understand the data that your body's been giving you. But for my clients, it looks like about 60 minutes where we go through those labs, and we're all practicing virtually right now. So on a Zoom screen, you'll have your results shown up, and we'll go through each part of that test, like little by little, making sure that you completely understand the results that are on that lab test. And then what we do with that data is put together a recommendation protocol for you. So we'll look at diet, we'll look at your rest and your sleep, we'll look at your exercise habits. We will go into stress reduction techniques. And finally, we'll put together a supplement protocol curated specifically for you based off the results of that test. And that's something really that FDNs are experts on. We especially those in the graduate program. So what I direct, we have access to this $2,000 database, a year database, the Natural Medicines database. So every supplement, excuse me, that we are recommending for clients, we can run through, drug-to-drug interactions, supplement-to-supplement interactions, and really we're so well versed on herbs and supplements that we can really put together a rebalancing protocol that is going to move the needle for you in your own health journey.
Fantastic. So one of the things in the DRESS protocol is stress. And people think when you talk about stress and you address stress, that's just going to be like meditation and deep breathing. But it really goes so much deeper because there's so many stressors in your environment that you may need to work on.
100%. And that's why, at FDN, the course really opens with stress, and stress being, the foundation of why the body is in metabolic chaos to begin with. And I often walk my own clients through this. Like, I'll go through the graphic of metabolic chaos and tell them, this is why when people say stress kills, and this is why, the body really has a hard time adapting to chronic long-term stress. And so we do work on that as a huge part of FDN in my own practice. And then, when you work with an FDN coming over from the public, that's something that we are going to put a lot of effort into. As I tell my own clients, diet's important, but it's only 20% of our protocol. Rest and stress reduction make up 40% of the protocol that we are recommending for you. And yes, it's breathing. And yes, it's, not having difficult relationships with your mother-in-law and whatnot, maybe changing jobs, but also it's about the day-to-day and about not getting rid of the stress in your environment, because you can't do that, but learning how to manage the stress in your environment, bringing down outside stressors, learning to, be outside and take leisure time, take your Epsom salt baths, get morning sun as early as possible, turn down distractions in your environment. But then also, and this is where FDN shines, removing the internal stressors. And that's, things like gut infections and food sensitivities, parasites, hormone insufficiencies. These are things that we can really dive deep into with the labs and start to bring your body back into balance. And those internal stressors are just as big of a stressor, if not more, than, I don't know why my mother-in-law is on my mind this morning, but then your mother-in-law. Bless your heart.
Yeah, I agree. I really talk to my clients about that. Their symptom is caused by stress, but there's so many different stressors. It's emotional, it's environmental, it's internal stress, all of these different kind of compound factors, including physical stress. Sitting on your butt all day doesn't help. I mean, it does compound our stress. So I think that that's one of the really unique things about FDNs is that we're really using a different approach to helping our clients get their health back in balance.
100%. Yes. And that really moves the needle for a lot of people, is learning how to manage stress. And the beauty of FDN is that we do that through a variety of ways, right? And that basically is the DRESS protocol. You're bringing stress down through, optimizing your diet. You're bringing stress down by learning how to sleep and maybe take a nap and rest from work and all of those things, right? Bringing stress down by learning how to exercise appropriately. So that's the crux of the program. And if it sounds like you, where you're like, I just can't do it anymore, I am so stressed out, I'm at the end of the rope, reach out to us. We really are experts in helping you manage the stress that just happens to be part of daily life in 2020 and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody is watching and you have questions, absolutely drop them below. Jennifer and I would love to address those for you. So drop your questions. Also drop the word me below this video. We are going to send you a link to partner you with your perfect FDN practitioner. So Jennifer, I want to know, like, after we've done the testing, after we've done the dress protocol, how often are clients meeting with their FDN practitioners? Like, what does the time frame look like?
Yeah, so every practitioner is going to do it a little bit differently, but essentially you're going to work with your FDN for about 90 days. So 90 days where you're meeting either twice a month or once a month. It just depends on, you know, your schedule and your FDN schedule. After practicing for 4 years, I found that it worked better to work with my clients weekly. And so we do meet weekly with some support in between, because they're stressed out. They need some accountability and some encouragement. So we have short sessions every week. However, practitioners do it differently. Maybe you want an immersive hour session once a month. You know, maybe you want a 45-minute session twice a month. It's really just up to you as a practitioner. And in the internship program, we'll be doing 45-minute sessions once every 3 to 4 weeks. So you'll have plenty of time with your FDN.
Yeah, I do 45-minute sessions every 2 weeks for about 90 days. Some of my families will go for 6 months, but yeah, I do. But I love the idea of maybe some shorter weekly sessions. I love that.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I would love, since I've got you here, I would love for you to expand a little bit on the internship program. What is so exciting about it, besides the fact that it's brand new? But I would love to just kind of expand on what that's going to be like for those that are interested in going through the course.
Yeah. So if you're coming at us, you know, from that side and you're wanting to enter the course, I can explain to you, you know, one part of it. And then if you're someone who wants to work with an FDN, I can explain to you another part of it. If you're going to become an FDN, you will have the opportunity to enter what we're calling our internship program. Now, to the public, it's going to be called FDN Thrive. So you can look that up at fdnthrive.com. But when we graduate our FDNs, we were finding that it was hard for them to feel confident enough to go out and just like build their business right away. And so the internship program was born of this desire to really like nurture our new graduates and make sure that they feel very confident and very comfortable in going through all of those things we were just talking about, Piper, like making sure that they understand the labs backwards and forwards. Because in the course, you run them on yourself and you get a lot of deep information on each one of those labs. You're studying them constantly for a year, but you don't necessarily have a lot of data from your own clients. And so we'll help you with that, walking through each one of your own clients, all that data. You'll be working with a clinical advisor and clinical mentor. So someone who's been through it, someone who has a successful practice, someone who knows business and clinical side backwards and forwards. And that'll be 3 to 5 clients for 90 days each as part of the internship program. So you can feel really confident in your growth as a business person going through it on the student side. Now, if you are a member of the public who wants to work with an FDN because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you have this opportunity to work with, you know, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We're not just accepting anybody into the internship program. And, you know, we are going to be pretty selective with our students because we're graduating more and more of them. And so there will be a rigorous kind of interview process, and then we'll train the heck out of them. And then, you know, you will be paired not only with your FDN, who's just graduated the course and has a lot of knowledge, but also a team of people around. So the clinical advisor and clinical mentor, myself, Joe Pate, who is in charge of this new division. So there's a lot of people who are going to be making sure that your FDN succeeds and that you succeed in what you're looking to rebalance in your health journey.
I think all that sounds amazing and exciting. There are so many incredible changes happening in 2021 for FDN. We're going to have the internship program. I'm going to have Jen on with me next week, Jen Maleka, and we're going to be talking about the business portion of what FDN is going to look like in 2021, how we can really set up an amazing business. And then for those of you who just want to work on your own health, we are really excited for this FDN Thrive opportunity, and you can drop the word me below, and we're going to send you a survey so that we can match you with the perfect FDN. So that maybe you don't want to go through the course yourself, but you really want to work on your own health. This is your chance, and you can watch the replay and learn more about what it's like to work with an FDN practitioner. Thank you, Jennifer, for joining me today. Do you have any final thoughts before we hop off?
I always talk about this, Piper, on this show, but just remember, we're meant to be in community. We are not meant to be individuals. So on either side, if you're looking for a community that wants to support you, as you learn and grow about nutrition and health, come join us at FDN. But if you're looking for a team of people who are just going to help you grow in your own health, come to FDN Thrive. We're a community that understands, and we are here to support you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining me. There is no Real Results show tomorrow. We are taking a break for the holidays, but there is a Health Coach Tip Tuesday. Next Tuesday, Jen Maleka will be joining me. We're going to be talking about all things business. So everybody have a happy holiday weekend. And thank you, Jennifer, again for joining me.
Thank you, Piper. Bye, everybody.